Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another reaction. Very excited about today as we're checking out another chapter of Jackson. This time it is Hate to Love, the official music video. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Aww. That is so freaking cool. Called you blood, so it's either like someone that was very, very close, or like a relative, or just someone that you could basically call family. Blinded by the greed in your heart makes me think of Gotta Be a Dick in the music video with Squidward, where they're kind of like battling and there's like gold coins and whatever, and Jackson would not be bought or sell his heart or his soul to, the industry in a way, or not be sold out to the same principles that the one who betrayed him sold out to. So that's kind of cool, but I really love the fact that the music video is black and white, but the eyes are glowing blue, which kind of makes me think of like vulnerability, and also blue representing the color of like depression and sadness. So he's basically being incredibly like truthful, honest, and vulnerable about the way that he's feeling. Almost like he's talking directly to the person that betrayed him or something. And like the red is also kind of interesting because I'm not sure if it's a boxing glove of sorts or whatever. But the red kind of like represents the blood that they just talked about, the heart, love, hate, rage, like all of these things can be represented that are very contrasted. They still are represented by this one color. So there's like love, depression, love, hate, vulnerability, rage, but I'm not sure. Let's look it back. People don't love to hate, they just hate to love. That is so beautiful, because again, he's like being insanely vulnerable. Like, don't get me wrong, even though you did all of this, I still wish that I could trust you. I wish I had it in me to be this naive to realize that, well, maybe, it happened once, it won't happen again. We talked about it, I saw it, or, I caught you, or, I realized what was wrong, but, part of me kind of like, because of how much you mean to me, I'm willing to let that slide, but gotta be a dick. So instead of letting you continuously use me, I just decided that you don't belong, because the person that would betray me is not a person that I want in my circle, especially one that I call family, call blood, and a person that I would go above and beyond for. And as I literally gave everything that I had, you just bled me dry, basically. And I love the line, people don't love to hate, they just hate to love. Almost like, because of how powerful love is, when it backfires, we don't realize how much it hurt us. So it's like the heart sometimes trumps the mind, and in this case, Jackson finally decided that his mind is stronger than the heart, because the heart wishes it could forgive him, wishes that he could still be part of this family of sorts, but at the end of the day, he knows that if you betrayed me the way that you did, you used me and you didn't take me into any consideration, then there's just not a reality in which you and I are together in any way, shape, or form. So, you know, it could have been so simple. Like, if only we communicated, if only, you could tell me what are your plans, or if only you didn't take the easy way and got greedy and whatever. Like, how much money, fame, fortune, how much of it do you really need that it's worth throwing away our friendship? It is also really interesting how it's a one single shot that is kind of like drifting away. So it's almost like the POVs of the person that did the betraying, and now the more the song goes, the more they drift apart as Jackson disconnects from them and basically, distances himself in a way. And like the blue eyes to represent like that vulnerability and like that sadness. At least in my opinion, that's what it could possibly represent in a world that is like black and white. Like the eyes and the glove maybe kind of like represents nuance of sorts. Like it could have been different. I would have understood what you were trying to do. I would have tried my hardest to make this work, but you had to fuck it up because of greed and whatever. Maybe. Don't get me going, I still believe in trust, but you and me's a bust, you let me fearful. And you think what's the fuss, it's just a couple bucks, but you just cut and run after an earful. Should've said deuces, what's the resolution? Well, that's an interesting line. So, like, I love that that's always kind of like what people, whenever somebody is being used and the outcome is almost like predictable in a way. They're gonna say, "Oh, well, I mean, you're rich. You already have all this money. Like you said so yourself in the God 7 comeback. Money stacked to space, right? So I mean, so the stack is gonna get like a little bit smaller. You're not even going to notice it. It's not about that. It's about the fucking principle." And it's about the fucking trust that I gave you, and you completely fucked it up. And thinking, well, what's the problem? Like it's not a big deal. And then all it took for you to completely turn on me is just an earful. So God forbid, I called your bullshit out and you just decided to run away. That's at least kind of like what the context is that he's laying down in the lyrics. But you and me's a bust, you let me fearful. And you think what's the fuss, it's just a couple bucks, but you just cut and run after an earful. Should've said deuces, what's the resolution? You said you would give it all, but you still want more. Oh, damn. Hold up, we'll get back to that quote. That was a beautiful song. I honestly think that Gotta Be a Dick is probably like the catchiest, like hook, the catchiest chorus of all the last couple of songs. But I feel like this one is my favorite. Like I love the melody, I love the just the vibe in general. The Jeet Dosanjh collab with Buck was also really really cool. And but to me, like one of the coolest things was actually like the visuals and like the sound effects, as well as like the dance break happens and you like hear the sound effects of like the sand and like all the movements and shit. Like it was a really cool song, but I feel like as a standalone, if I were to just listen to the last like 3 4 songs that we've checked out on this channel, I would say that Hate to Love is probably my favorite. So the ending is really really cool because I feel like it ties in all 4 the music videos really really well, starting with High Alone, which was like peak depression, feeling like you are just on a stage for everyone else to see and to die in front of them as like part of their entertainment, as they're kind of like there's a bunch of like people in suits, almost like rich pricks and whatever, just feeling like it's all for a show and no one really caring about the fact that you are dying right in front of them. You have got to be a dick because you got to make those harsh decisions, no matter how uh, much of a dick you might appear to be because of it. Your self-worth and your self-peace is more valuable than anything else. And then the music video obviously depicts the betrayal in a way and the greed with Squidward and like the battle scene with the coins and everything, and constantly doing something for someone that initially instigated all of those things for you to come in, save the day, and then they take the credit away from you. So you gotta be a dick and put a hole in their chest, quite literally. Then you have Buck, which was really brutal, vicious, again, like very almost like betrayed, almost like hate in a way, with the way Jackson was kind of like going off on like that squid or like the octopus that he was eating in the Jeet Dosanjh, I believe, is almost like uh condoning those actions as he's smiling at him, like but in the end it was all kind of like in his mind. Like I went to the deepest depths in my mind uh to go as far as going straight to hell just so I could get back at you. I believe like that was one of the quotes at the end. And now Hate to Love is almost like looking at it from the place of like acceptance in a way, like seeing the bigger picture. Like you betrayed me, you know, this was a complete bust, but I still wish that I could trust you. Like if things were different, I wish that I could. Um, I wish that I could give you a chance, you know. And him, the blue eyes to represent that vulnerability, that sadness, depression. The camera drifts away, almost as if like he's talking to the person that betrayed him, as they're distancing from one another in a way. Or Jackson is kind of like getting a bigger and bigger and bigger picture of what is happening, and then the bigger picture is the quote at the end. Instead of saying, you know, I've always questioned when I'm going to find love, maybe the real question is when I am going to love myself. So it's almost like, you know, you don't have to wait for someone to complete you. You can complete yourself. And it is only when you will love yourself that you would be able to forgive yourself, to see the bigger picture, to be able to attract the kind of people that you want to attract, because you feel at peace with yourself. So if you give off like, you know, bad vibes or whatever, or you, it's kind of like there's like this phrase that you attract the kind of energy that you give out to the world. So if you feel incomplete, no one is ever going to come into this world for you and complete you in the way that you want to, because you don't even know yourself. So how can someone possibly be that missing puzzle piece? So you have to complete yourself first, and then once you love yourself, everything will follow. So it's not, I do love the lyrics a lot because he says it's not like I will never trust anyone ever again, but at the same time, it is people hate to love. It's not about loving to hate someone, it's about hating to love, because loving is so hard, and it's almost as if, you know, I'm not able to even love myself. I hate myself. Like the depression shit in High Alone, for example. You know, the hatefulness that he portrayed in his darkest fantasies in Buck, for example. And it's about, when you love yourself, you don't really have those negative thoughts of like vengeance and revenge and all these things that you wish that you could do to this person, but you didn't, of course. So there's still some light in you because, you know, you didn't follow up on it, but it's absolutely human nature to have feelings of hate towards someone that absolutely betrayed you and violated your trust, obviously. So it kind of feels like, hate to love, whether he's talking to himself or, finding someone to love because the other person kind of like ruined him potentially for other people in a way. And I'm not talking about like a romantic thing, but just in general, like whether it's a friendship, work relationship, romantic relationship, you can be betrayed by so many people that, friends, whatever, co-workers, whoever you, as the lyrics say, call family and call blood, someone that you would consider as someone close, to call them family only for them to run away at the first sight of anger, as they deserved it because you stole from them. And then he said, you cut and run after only an earful. So all I needed to do was like talk back to you because I didn't like what you were doing, and instead of admitting your fault, and then maybe, as he says, I wish I could trust you. Maybe if you actually admitted your wrongs and were actually uh, understanding of where I'm coming from, we could still be in this relationship, working relationship. But instead, you're like, hey, what's the deal? Just a couple of bucks. I mean, you're rich anyway, so what's the point? What's the problem? The problem is the trust that you violated. So that's kind of like the gist that I got from this music video. This was awesome. And like the one singular shot that is constantly kind of like fading away was really, really cool too. But especially with the color isolation, the selective color with the blue and the red, I thought was also really, really amazing. Let me know in the comment section. Maybe it wasn't even a boxing glove, because in a way it kind of looked like it, which kind of reminded me of like wanting to hate in a way, like in Buck, and fantasizing about the way that he was going to get his revenge upon the person that betrayed him and whatnot. But the blue, it's very like sad uh and vulnerable, and almost like the entire music video is just him being real, just having a conversation with us in a way. So I really, really enjoyed that. This was a beautiful song, beautiful lyrics, very heartfelt, and this was beautiful. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, as always, make sure to like this video. If you want to add something, feel free to do so in the comment section as well. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Be well and safe wherever you are. See ya.